beautiful people, it is Mick and I want to thank you for joining me for another episode. Today I wanted to talk about how you can improve your body image. So if you don't know anything about me, I did struggle with binging for 10 years, and in that I had god-awful body image. Now this was partially a lot to do with the weight fluctuations and me not just having a shock to people noticing around you, and then you obviously noticing in the mirror, because my weight fluctuations would be anywhere from like 20 to 40 pounds. It was not a great time. And in that, especially when you tie so much of yourself to the way that your body looks, it's a massive hit on the ego and you really don't know where to go next. But I will tell you that I also had a major role to play in that, because even at my skinniest size, I wasn't picking at what I normally picked at when I was bigger, but I started to pick at new things. And this is where it really became very clear to me that body image is not a body size issue, it's a self-narrative issue. So these are just some things that I want to touch on if you feel like you're struggling with body image and it's causing you to self-isolate. Maybe not buy clothes that are making you feel good. Maybe it's causing you to self-sabotage because you feel like you're already too far gone and you just can't do anything about it, which is a limiting belief. So first thing I did to clear my body image is start becoming aware of your self-narrative. And what I mean by this is, when I had a really poor body image, I wasn't even aware of how often I felt the need to body check in the mirror or tell myself that I looked fat, or that my arms were too big, or that I didn't like this, or that this doesn't look good, and this and this. And so start becoming aware of how you're speaking to yourself. Even when you're sitting in the car and you can feel those rolls adding up, or you're like, God, I'm so disgusting, I need to lose weight. I look so big, like, you're squishing it thinking like, how many inches is that, right? Start becoming aware of your self-narrative and just what you're saying and how you're treating yourself. This is the biggest thing, because you can't change what you're not aware of. And sometimes it's just so habitual, so pattern, and so autopilot, you don't even recognize it. So start becoming aware, but that doesn't change everything. There's a next step, and that is taking action. So these are some of the ways that I took action to start owning my life, feeling good in my body, and embodying that badass bitch that you can embody as well. I have some notes here. Number 1 is setting boundaries. Now, this is for yourself and for other people. Now, I want to start with yourself. So one of the boundaries that I set for me was when I became aware of how negative my thoughts were. I told myself, nope, if I have nothing nice to say about me, I will not say anything at all. This is a boundary, right? Another boundary was, every time I look in a mirror, I do not body check. And you will have moments where you will slip up and you will body check just out of natural reaction. And that's okay. In that moment, put your shirt down and remind yourself that we don't do that anymore. And this is all it is. It's just mentally checking yourself. It's not going to change in one day, just like it didn't happen in one day. It takes time and consistency. The biggest part of this is consistency. Now let's talk about boundaries with other people. Now, it's very important to put a boundary for yourself first, so we can start elevating your self-respect and self-worth. Because when you feel shitty about you and you allow yourself to talk shitty about you, you will allow other people to do it. So we set a boundary with ourselves first, which then solidifies, hey, if I'm not allowed to talk to myself like that, neither are you. And so growing up in a Mexican family, my weight, what I ate, just my body in general was always talked about, along with the clothes that I wore. And so when you're setting boundaries with other people, if somebody is commenting on your food, it's as simple as, hey, please don't do that. It doesn't have to be mean. It doesn't have to be from a place of aggression, although you might want to snap. Setting a boundary is not rude. Protecting your internal peace is not rude. You deserve that. Another thing that helped me was recognizing what I was taking in on social media and making a change to clear my feed. So what happened to me was my social media was full of girls that I wanted to look like. Now, it wasn't necessarily realistic, but you couldn't tell me that in my mind. I wanted to be the skinniest version of myself. I wanted to be like a Hailey Bieber or was one of the Victoria's Secret models, you know? And over time, you learn that we all have different bodies and we're all not meant to look the same. But at that point, taking that in and not allowing any room for anything else was telling me in my mind that if I didn't look like that every morning that I woke up and I was not a Hailey Bieber, I was in the wrong. So just recognizing that what you see on social media is not helpful all the time. It's great to have goals, even body goals, but comparison is the biggest thief of joy. So if you are struggling with your body image, if you're struggling with yo-yo dieting, if you're struggling with binging, if it's always on your mind that you're only going to be happy when you're the thinnest version of yourself, these are all signs that what you are taking in is not helping you out right now. And in order to clear up some mental space, you need to clear up your feed. Some of the people that I really enjoy following are Joel and Shebulk. Those are really good people just because it doesn't matter the body size, they own it. They own it. And that's so empowering because, like I said, we're all not meant to look the same. Another thing that helped me was exposure therapy. And this is straight up stepping into fear. So sometimes this looked like wearing clothes that I thought I looked good in, but I was afraid that other people might have something to say. Sometimes you just gotta wear those damn clothes because body dysmorphia and the negative body image, it feeds off of the fear. And when you can step into that fear and challenge it, sometimes you just need to break through that first layer to see what's possible. Whether that's taking your shirt off in the gym or wearing a bikini instead of a one piece, or maybe it is wearing a one piece instead of basketball shorts and a t-shirt. We've all been there. Really just owning what you have is the most important thing. I remember it shocked my mind when I saw Ashley Graham for the first time. She was the plus size supermodel. It was a game changer for me because it was finally a bigger woman who was just absolutely confident and in love with her body, and she just looked so good. So this is going back to looking at your feed and seeing that there is more than just one size of body that people can be confident in. Lona, there's another girl, she's a rugby, oh my goodness, Olympian. She's complete badass too, so go follow her. Lastly, actually, there's a couple things. So one of the things that I would say, and this could be stepping into fear, is buying clothes that you actually love. It's extremely important to notice when you are self-sabotaging, and what I mean by that is, for a very long time, I wore basketball shorts, I wore t-shirts, I wore clothes that just, quite honestly, they looked raggedy, and I didn't necessarily care because I felt that I deserved to be in that. I felt that I wasn't worth showing off. I felt that I didn't deserve to be feminine, that I didn't deserve to be confident, that I wasn't beautiful. And in the clothes that I was wearing, in the pictures that I would take, I would purposefully, without really understanding or knowing it at the time, make myself look as unpresentable as possible. And I would look at these pictures and then say, see, this is evidence on why I'm just blah, 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 blah. So recognizing those patterns in yourself. And for me, one of the biggest things was buying clothes that made me feel good and owning that. And sometimes that's the first step as well. Practicing gratitude in what you have is the last thing I have for you. And sometimes it's just stepping outside of yourself and recognizing that the world doesn't revolve around you, quite frankly. Like, there is other life that's going on. There is people who cannot walk. There are people who are bedridden. There are people who have passed. There are people who would give anything to be in your shoes. So I would practice gratitude in the way where I would look in the mirror and if I didn't have anything nice to say about myself, it was like, man, I'm so grateful that I can walk, that I can breathe, that I don't have to. You ever have those moments where you're sick? And in those moments where you're sick, you just start to realize how uncomfortable you are, how much your throat hurts, how much it does take energy to just take in that breath, like how much you have to work for it. Like, it doesn't come naturally like it does normally. And so you find yourself saying, man, I'm so grateful for when I'm not sick. This is what I want you to do just regarding around your body. So it's just, I'm grateful that my mind is connected to my body in the sense that I don't have to think about moving, I can just move, that I can breathe, that I have a body, and this can extend to I have a roof over my head. And because binging and EDs are not just body, food, and mind related, they play into your life. So it's finding gratitude in life, finding gratitude in your body, finding gratitude in the fact that you can fuel your body. These are all super important things. That's all I have for you on this body image thing. It's just something that I wanted to bring to your attention if you are struggling. If you like this and you want more around body image, or you would like me to dive deeper into a topic in that, let me know in the comments. Remember to like and subscribe, and to follow me on Instagram and TikTok at MisfitMick. I have a lot of good stuff going on there. As always, I really, really appreciate you. Thank you for joining me today, and recovery is possible.